Hello everyone, Sientir here with VOD of Consciousness, and I don't know how much of this week is going to be taken up with doing this mission, but let's not delay in getting it started. We are coming here to the Gate of Madness, because this is the second to last mission that I need to do to complete the campaign. Now, there's a couple of important things going on here. Now, I've done some build craft on my characters. One of the things that you'll notice when we get into this zone is that we have this effect called Depths of Madness that nerfs healing skills. All healing is 15% less. You'll notice that my party composition is a bit wonky in that I have Zenmai and Margaret the Sly. There's a couple of significant reasons for that. Up here we have Cormier, who is an important NPC. And our goal in this mission is basically to recapture a Temple of the Six Gods. So this would have been before Abaddon fell and became the corrupt deity that he is now, when the Six Gods, or Balthazar... Would Grenth have been the... Would have been Grenth then? Probably Grenth. He might probably have defeated Doom at that point. But anyway, back in the era of the Six Gods, and yeah, get Lightbringer gazed. And so our job here is to recapture this temple because it will help us or something. I don't remember the exact plot reasons, to be perfectly blunt about it. But there's some very important reasons why we have the party that we do. So one of them, if I look back, you might notice we have a gigantic pile of spirits going on over here. And that's because Margaret is doing kind of a wonky spirit ranger build. One of the things about rangers is they have an attribute called expertise, which makes a bunch of random stuff cheaper to use. And one of the things that makes cheaper to use is rituals, like these binding rituals. So these actually do not cost her that much energy. I've also given her an elite skill that lets her recharge her other skills instantly, so it effectively makes the recharge on these all 25 seconds, rather than like 45 or whatever. So there's some there that are... Basically, it's to increase our damage output, right? But there's some there that are to be defensive in nature, and there's some there that are meant to be kind of more offensive in nature. I've also given, like, the Spirit of Displacement, for example, makes stuff miss us, or makes attacks auto-blocked, but the spirit takes damage every time it does that. But we also have Shadow Song to inflict blind. We also want Zenmai for some of the stuff that'll be happening later. So it's important that we bring her along as well. And then I'm also bringing, because this decreases healing, I have brought with me on Parias, I have brought Recuperation, which gives us +3 health regeneration. So that helps mitigate some of the effects of our weakened healing. Not entirely sure the best way to go here. It's been a long time since I've done this mission. The other thing that you'll notice is Elias is doing a weird thing. He's now like a Spiteful Spirit plus support healing stuff. So most of the damage he's contributing is through Spiteful Spirit. So the spirits are a really important part of our damage. And actually Zenmai is probably a pretty important part of our damage too. So we don't have quite as many interrupts as we would if Daedalon was in the party. Gwen is, very strictly speaking, running a bunch of illusion magic damage stuff. And we also need to be careful of this group coming up on our flank. I might wait here in the Field of Spirits to see where they're going. Okay, they're going that way. I don't know if it's better to go over these fields or not. This is a very powerful skill, but it doesn't affect all enemies. It only affects the demonic servants of Abaddon, so it's very strong in here and kind of weak elsewhere. Margaret does have additional interrupts, by the way. She has Savage Shot and Distracting Shot, both of which are interrupts. So she does have interrupt capability, and she has AoE damage with volley. She doesn't have the most optimal bow, but unfortunately I didn't have a whole lot of good options that way. These guys are really annoying. Because they're very defensive dervish builds, which are obnoxious to deal with. I wish I could remember which way was the best way through here, but I legitimately do not. How do I even... Okay, here we go. I don't know, I'm just heading off this way. We have a lot of additional healing, so we should be okay. Because Elias has a bunch of healing, for example. So while it's all individually weaker, having a greater quantity of it should hopefully help. I hate these Madness Titans, they're so annoying. You can really build a defensive dervish. I'm not sure what recuperations... Yeah, it doesn't have perfect duration. Now that this thing's getting focused by everyone, it's going to have its stuff interrupted a lot more, but... how are energy... Oh, those are all mostly fine. Yeah. Those are doing fine. Rangers tend to have pretty reasonable energy because their primary attribute is energy management. That's basically what you see, is if your primary attribute is energy management, you're probably going to do okay on energy. Otherwise, you have to kind of like make sure you're tuning your build to have enough energy management. Okay, so we need to get down here, as you can see. That's where we're trying to get to. So, I'm going to encourage our guys to go back to draw things into the spirits. Probably, that's like a... I want to be out of that well. That well's bad well. We have a good well on our team, but unfortunately there's not a clear distinction between them visually. This well gives health degen and prevents shouts. The good allied well gives a little bit of health regeneration. Okay. So now that I've cleared out that group, let's continue on this way. I don't recall this first part being too hard, as long as you're not getting, like, suddenly dudesed, as it were. Which suddenly dudes can certainly happen, but... And yeah, so right now, Elias is probably... What's that even? Like, he has this well. He could use it. See, it does this. It gives us 13 seconds. We get +3 health regeneration while standing in the air. So, like, you can see, like, 6 health regen. That's actually pretty strong. Forget how much health that is per second, but it certainly adds up. Oh man, I got 4 Margonites with that. That's pretty good. I should be looking... Yeah, they have a High Priest. That should actually be our target. Trying to figure out what's the proper thing to be targeting priority-wise. At this point, it's like not terribly important. Getting a lot of these victory tokens. Not the most exciting reward, but okay. A lot of these, like, Wells of Silence or whatever. Fortunately, recuperation has a pretty big range, and is very helpful. Actually, we want to target down the Word of Madness. Word of Madnesses are the monks. They're kind of smiting prayers, though. As you can see, like, once we get established, we have a ton of DPS. But it can take us a little bit to get established, so... and that's just a combination of all of... We have, like, 5 attacking spirits, plus the hex that makes those things hit harder. Oh, right, this section. Oh, goodness, I'd forgotten. Well, I had forgotten about it, and now I've remembered. This spot can be a little bit of a nightmare. Yeah, Torment / Hurts. You can see that they dropped on Zenmai there. Okay. So how do we open this? We just need to... Okay. It just says travel to Temple of the Six Gods. Be with us, Cromir. Okay, time of reckoning approaches. That's not helpful. You need to go around killing certain enemies or something. I honestly don't remember. Less quickening his effort, please. It wrecks our energy. We're actually pretty bulky, is what I'm noticing. So that's good. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold, and it is not treating me well because it is a cold, and that is what they do. Okay. There's something that we need to do to be able to get down there. Because we need to be able to get down into that area and fight a bunch of things. Kind of like, if you remember the Hell's Precipice mission I did a while back from Prophecies, where we had a bunch of dudes that we had to fight in that sort of lava area with rifts that we needed to close. It is calling back and harkening back to that. I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to... Oh, Minions of the Rabbit Legion. That's nice. Let's see. You'll arrive at a gate. Okay. So you arrive at a gate. So maybe I've run into a bug. Because there's a bug on it mentions on this article that sometimes the gates don't open. And it seems likely that I've run into that particular bug. Or the gate is not opening. I might need to just restart this mission. Would be a bit obnoxious. Okay, looks like I'm gonna just scout out the area a little bit more as we look at these sludge mouths, just to get a feel for the geography, because it's been a while since I've been through here. And as you can see, I kind of went from there over this way, and if it would be faster to turn left, I may opt to do that next time. Looks like there's some bosses over here, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So if I understand exactly how this place is laid out, I can potentially have a quicker return trip. Oh, that's an elementalist boss, though. Because it sounds like the gate should have opened already, and the fact that it didn't makes me wonder if there's perhaps something that, or it makes me wonder if it perhaps bugged. It did mention that that can happen. So that is, as you can see, an elementalist boss, which we would prefer to not fight if we can. Oh, I see. So this area does function as an explorable area later. So this is a resurrection shrine that's not active right now, and this is a gate that is closed that we probably cannot actually go through. So we cannot take the shorter path to where we want to get to. Unfortunate, but kind of, you know, just how it is. Sounds like we could potentially take the path around, or we could go through there. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So, this is going to be a very dangerous boss, and probably is just one-shotting a lot of everyone. As it turns out, Invoke Lightning is a very strong spell. And having everything cost more because of this is not helping. So I think I might need to actually restart the mission because it seems like it probably bugged out. Which it does note that that can happen on the wiki, so. Oh, sweet. I'm not going to use this, but it'll sell for a little bit. Okay, well, we're able to clear that group, so that's promising. Okay, so I'm just going to have to bite the fact that a frustrating thing happened. And so what I'm going to do is, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to make you watch everything, I'm just going to wander back up to the gate, see if there's a trigger that can happen coming from this direction. If not, what I will do is I'll just start the next episode having made my way to, like, about here or something. So I'll start the next episode from there, rather than from the outpost itself. Because this is not something where I've messed up. This is where, like, something with the game's gone wonky, and it's like, I'm not going to work. Because this should be opening up here and allowing me through, and it is not. So, with that being the case, that's not something where I want to subject all of you to the mission not working. I think that's the proper path. Yeah, because I remember going down in there, so. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do that, everyone. So, until next time, take care. Bye-bye.